Welcome to First and 15, the only podcast that's trying to get you paid. I'm here with two-time FFPC champ AB. Alongside him is my guy, Dio the Machine. Guys, we are getting really close to week one, to things actually counting. So I actually want to get y'all on the record about certain players. Are you in or out? Specifically at ADP as well. So I just want to fire off some players and kind of go through the boards as well so that people can kind of see what current ADPs are. And I want to get you guys on the record because the season is approaching. We got one more week of preseason and then the regular season starts. So let's go JSN at ADP. Are you guys in or out on JSN?
What's his ADP? 306?
Mm-hmm.
I am out. But if he falls a little bit, like a little bit, I could easily be in. So technically I'm in. I just haven't been getting a lot of them.
All right. Daya,
I'm probably out right there.
Yeah.
It's just too rich for your blood?
Nah, I don't know how much I believe in the passing game for the Seahawks this year.
Yeah.
And drafting a player that high, I'm looking for people that are gonna be true anchors for my team, players that can take me over the top.
Yeah.
First and second round, obviously you want those guys to hit, but you want your third and fourth rounders to truly hit.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that kind of take you to that next level. And I don't know if Jason in the third round, I don't know if that's what I get. Maybe in the fourth round I'll take him.
That's the issue. I just can't. It's hard for me to picture him like finishing as a top 12 type player.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not all of these guys in the top 3 rounds are going to finish as top 12 players. But if it's like really hard for me to envision that, then like I just feel like I need to go elsewhere. He's a bad pick though.
What about Marvin Harrison? He's front end of the fourth round at ADP. Are you guys in or out on Marvin Harrison?
What's his ADP?
403.
403. I am out. There are other guys there that I would prefer taking, and especially with some of the news that's come out. Again, I don't want to draft for right now. I want to draft for like a season that is unpredictable and it's going to have injuries and all things are going to anything can happen. But when I look at Marvin Harrison and I compare him to other wide receivers, I just see other guys with more upside. I have questions with Kyler. I have questions with the offensive coordinator. I have questions. The biggest thing, when I'm looking at Marvin Harrison is like I think a lot of people don't really understand, or not that they don't understand, but I think it's just not logical to view him as like a wide receiver too.
Yeah,
because he's not the wide receiver too, but he's the second receiving option on that team.
right.
So I'm not comparing him against other wide receiver ones. I'm comparing him against other wide receiver twos. So give me Devontae Adams over him. I don't care, even with the issues or risk with Stafford's back injury. At this stage, give me Mike Evans over him. If you're someone who's not a Rashee Rice believer, you could argue Xavier Worthy over him.
Yeah.
And you can just go long down this list. Even a DK Metcalf, who is the likely receiving number one option on his team. It's just, yes, he can grow, but to me, not enough has changed outside of us expecting him to improve his second year and, hoping that they change his role in offense a bit, hoping that he connects a bit, hoping that he does a lot of stuff. Too many ifs for me.
Yeah. Dio.
I might be in, just depending on who's available.
Yeah.
If there's other guys I like that are available, I'll probably take them instead. If the guys I like were just taken right ahead of him, then I wouldn't have a problem taking them there. So I don't know if that's in or out. I'm not looking to add him to my team, but if that's who's available for me at that moment, then I might take him. Again, depending on who else is available.
Dio, what about DeAndre Swift? He's front end of the fifth round, 503. Are you in or out?
I'm out.
Completely out?
Yeah, I'm not believing him.
No.
I don't think, regardless of what week one happens, I don't even care about week one. Like, I don't think he's going to hold that job. I don't think he's good enough to hold the job, and I don't trust that they won't bring somebody else in. I don't trust that they won't look at maybe the rookie eventually taking that job, and by the end of the season, like I hate those players where I have early in the season they're doing well, and they've done so well where I can't drop them, or maybe you can't even bench them, but they just stop producing as well as they did in the early part of the season, and I'm kind of like stuck with them. I'm gonna become like an anchor. So he looks like those type of players.
5'10", 5'10". 5'10" still out?
Oh yeah, 5'10", 5'10". Yeah, back end of the fifth.
Yeah, I'm out too.
He's still out.
I'm out too. Yeah, ditto what he said.
Even that late though, a starter running back who's a pass catching option.
I'm out. that's like those are the money rounds, and I need to see a guy. I need to feel like a guy can just like really smash his ADP. I'm not just looking for like a guy to pay off his 5th round value.
Mhm.
These middle rounds, I keep talking. Like really, I want these guys. I'm drafting guys who I feel like can, surpass this. Because when you look back at the
It's a
end of the
perfect way
year,
of putting it, actually.
Yeah.
like when you look back at the end, like they're going to be like 20 players who were like within like 2 to 3 points of each other. They
Mhm.
like just really didn't make a difference. Some of these guys were taken earlier, some of these guys were taken later, and they just like are not needle movers on your team. And if I had to like take DeAndre Swift with those other guys, and pass up on like so many other guys with upsides, I mean, we'd be here all night if I'm counting a list of guys who have like upside or who I think have more upside than DeAndre Swift. Early on in kind of the draft season, I mean, not even that early on, like a month ago,
Mhm.
I felt like he was going, in the 7th round, late 7th round.
So he's gone up. Is that
So
what you're saying?
yeah, oh, his value has gone up, but just
What has
because
made him go up?
the lack of additions,
To the lack
and
of
I think
movement.
everybody's been just expecting the Bears to add someone, to trade someone, maybe expecting Roshan to get more work, and we're not hearing much about Roshan, and just outside of Calvin Nunga, there's not much being
So
added to the backfield.
nothing specifically he did.
Nothing is exactly nothing because what have you heard about DeAndre Swift? Like, have you heard anything about DeAndre Swift? And I'm not even knocking him. I think his role is going to be his role. I think he's going to be valuable. I think he's going to be serviceable.
Mhm.
Again, it's one of those guys where I just nonchalantly say that's not a bad pick. It's just not a pick that I'm gonna make right there.
Have you seen any DeAndre Swift highlights so far?
I haven't seen anything. I haven't really seen him play.
Have you seen any quotes regarding him?
I haven't seen anything.
No.
So he's just been chilling in the cut, and his value went up 2 rounds.
Yeah.
No, and
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
yeah, but so this is like for me, even though like I haven't like been consciously aware of being out on DeAndre Swift, like I
Mhm.
haven't actually been thinking to myself, okay, I'm fading DeAndre Swift this year. Subconsciously, I have because I've been like eating up the receiving options, the cheaper end of the receiving options. But Luther Burden give me tons of Colston Loveland,
Mhm.
taking shots at Odunze, less so DJ Moore just because of the price tag. But I've just been like hitting all of those options, and then really not gravitating towards the ground game. And I'm not full fading him. I just feel like I don't want to be paying a 6th round price for him.
Yeah. So let's talk about DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is what, back end of the 4th round as well. What about DK Metcalf at ADP?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm all in on DK too. I know you're not.
I didn't say all in. Chill. I said I'm in.
Trying to get you on camera.
Like we all in.
You with me? You with me? That's what it is. You with me? You basically with me. But DK Metcalf, how you feel about it, AB?
Yeah, I'm out. I can't. I don't. Number one, I question how good DK Metcalf is. How good he is as a player. 2, I question Aaron Rodgers. How good he is as a player at his age.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing is I question the coaching staff from an offensive standpoint, not from an NFL standpoint, but from an offensive standpoint in a fantasy realm, as far as being able to trust this offensive coordinator and this head coach to provide a guy that can, again, give me upside. I want to believe in Aaron Rodgers just hyper targeting his number one.
Mm-hmm.
There not being a lot of receiving options, but Arthur Smith, like, I'm not gonna let him do it to me again. And I feel like when I look at DK Metcalf, I just think to myself, man, if I pass on him, is this gonna be a guy that's gonna be able to like kill me? Is this gonna be a guy that I'm gonna be like, feel like he's gonna hurt me? Maybe, but I think I'm out.
So let me ask you this: who's scoring touchdowns for the Steelers this year?
No clue. It's gonna be somebody random. It's gonna be Roman Wilson one week, Pat Favre.
No. But by the end of the season,
yeah,
and you tally all the points up.
yeah.
Who was the touchdown scorer for the Steelers this year?
The tight ends and the
tight
running
ends. The tight end. I mean, it has to be one.
No,
Unless you think everybody's going to be tied.
Oh no, I think it's going to. I think the tight ends are going to be heavily involved. I think it's going to be Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth. I think both will be heavily involved. I think the running backs are just going to be like they're going to use. I think they're probably going to use 3 running backs. I really do. I think
I'm not talking about utilization. I'm just talking about who is going to score their points.
That's what I'm telling you. All 3 running
backs.
So you
think that the Steelers this season is going to be able to go through a full season simply just running the ball and throwing the tight ends? That's how you think they're going to score.
When you're asking who's going to score the touchdowns, I think I'm telling you, it's going to be evenly divided between the wide receivers, the tight ends, and the running backs. I don't think there's going to be I don't think DK is getting the majority.
Somebody's going to be the leader. I mean, unless you literally think it's going to be a tie, somebody's going to
would-
get the most.
I
So
would
I'm
not-
just asking, who do you think is going to get the most? I'm not saying like
I think
who's
the running
gonna-
backs will get the most.
you think one of those running backs will get the most touchdowns. Like you think the Steelers are going to be able to have that great of a running game this year?
I don't think it's going to be that great. I just don't think it's going to be that great of an offense.
But somebody's scoring, right? Or you think they're just
Yeah,
going
they're
to start?
scoring. I mean,
you think they're just going to be
score.
getting shut down all season?
Even the worst team in the league that we don't know who it is,
They're going to
at
score,
the same
right?
time, they're going to
So
score.
again, my question is,
Doesn't mean it's going to be helpful for my fantasy team.
I didn't ask that. Simple question was, who's going to score the most touchdowns? Like, who do you think?
I told
I
you.
mean, if it's the running back, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like it's a
I
running
don't know
back.
if I agree with that, but okay.
Yeah.
And if that's truly the case, if you really believe that, then you probably should be taking the running backs a lot higher than where you.
No, because
where
I
they're
feel like
going.
it's going to be spread out. I just look at what.
I mean, even if it is spread out, if one of the running backs scores the most touchdowns for the Steelers this year, and by the way, it's usually rare for. I won't say it's rare, but it's not a lot of teams where the running back scores the most touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if you think for the Steelers offense this year, the running
is
back.
that true?
No, I don't agree with that.
I
feel
said
like-
not a lot of teams.
I feel like the majority of the times it's the running back that scores the
Yeah,
most touchdowns.
I would say
It's
so.
rare
For the top end running backs, yes. For the top end,
It's
but
hard.
most teams don't have a top end running back.
I don't
And
know.
those top end running backs that we're referring to right now are being drafted in the first 4 rounds. And that's why, again, I'm saying if you think
I don't agree with that.
Warren or what's his name, Caleb Johnson is going to be the guy that scores the most touchdowns. These guys right now are drafted in the 9th round.
Yeah, but again,
No, not the round. I'm sorry, the 7th, 8th round.
in
There's
best ball,
values then.
in best ball, I'm not arguing. In redraft, I will argue that because you got to know which one to start. And
But what if the season plays again? Let's go back to your original premise. If you think one of the running backs are going to score the most touchdowns on this team, and then again, you don't know how the season's going to play out. True,
I
but
don't.
once it does start playing out, and
Yeah.
then one of those running backs reveal themselves as being this is the guy who Abby envisioned is going to score the most points. That person is going to be a value for where he's being drafted right now.
that's the thing is like I don't.
He's being drafted like running back 5 right now, running back 6.
But that's the thing is like I don't envision that happening.
So you just think the Steelers as a whole are just not going to score many points this season at all?
No, I'm not saying that. I keep saying that it's going to be a variety of different people that is going to be very
I
hard.
know it's going to be a
predict on day-to-day.
variety. I didn't say every team has a variety, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how it is. I'm just saying who's going to score the most.
So
And
I'll put it
if
this way.
you think the running back is going to score the most out of the tight ends, out of the receivers, out of whatever, if you just think one of the running backs is going to score the most, you're essentially telling me you believe that one of those running backs are going to outperform their current ADP because both of them are being taken right now like running back 5, running back 6. Both of them.
Yeah, I just disagree with that. Not
I mean, it's either that or the Steelers are not scoring a lot of points this year. I mean, it's one or the other. It really
Well,
can't
that's
be
what I'm
both.
saying. I don't think they're going to be like in the top half of the league in terms of.
I didn't say
points.
top half. You have fantasy productive players on teams that are in the bottom.
Yeah, but you have to,
10th
and you
of
have, and you
NFL.
have to know when to start them.
Again, the question was never. I didn't ask a fantasy question. I just simply asked who's going to score the most. And if you think one of the running backs, if you think one of the running back, but if you think running backs are going to score the most, then that person's right now his value is he's undervalued right now,
Oh, well,
like crazy actually, like crazy honestly.
I just feel like we think about that differently then.
I mean, it's not a think about different. It is what it is. I mean, come on, like think about it. What the other running backs taking there, right? Like you don't think Tracy or Scotty was going to score the most points for the Giants, right?
But see,
You don't think Mason's going to score or Aaron Jones taking a couple rounds out, but Mason, you don't think he's going to score the most points for the Viking. Like everybody around that is being taken, you don't see any of them as maybe scoring the most points for their team. But you just told me you think the Steelers running back's going to be or going to score the most points.
But
for
that,
their
that
team.
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But that doesn't matter if it's like if the Minnesota Vikings pie is significantly larger. Just because Mason has a lower percentage or is not scoring the most points doesn't mean that he can't score more points than the Pittsburgh.
And then it went back to my next comment. Then would have been that you're just basically telling me you don't think the Steelers are going to score many points at all this season.
No.
Okay.
I didn't say they're going to be the least, but I just don't think that I don't think it's going to be a high powered offense, and I don't think for me, I know you don't factor this, but for me, like being able to factor in predictability and a confidence level and starting someone and accurately starting someone and getting those points, and those points are actually going into my lineup and being counted. To me, I factor that in, and I just find that very hard with an Arthur Smith, unless there's just a Derrick Henry on the team or an AJ Brown on the team. But when there's not really that at play, or when it's kind of ambiguous, or at least I feel like it is, I just have less.
But they're being drafted as running back 6s right now. Even if you don't truly have confidence, you're not really utilizing much draft value to draft them right now.
I know, but I would just I would rather draft the Scatterboo and then know not to start him until or if he takes over the role or takes over like a significant role. Now I know he's getting touches. Even if he doesn't score, at least I know he's getting 60-70% of the snaps.
You could say
on
that
a weekly
same thing
basis.
about the Steelers running back. If you like, you could say Caleb Johnson could take the job, or Warren could take the job, and once they take the job and they end up doing what you say they're going to do, I mean,
that's again. This is I guess this is why when I first like started answering this question, my issue and my main concern was Arthur Smith. Like that's my main issue. It's like I don't trust him. So even if we get 2 weeks of Jaylen Warren, he could just do something completely random the following week. I just don't trust that guy.
Okay. Now I understand that.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on. Cortland Sutton. Let's talk about Cortland Sutton's ADP. What he's going, front end of the 5th round, like 504. What do you think about Cortland Sutton? Different offensive scheme there. I know that you don't believe necessarily in Bo Nix, but Sean Payton offense. What do you think about Cortland Sutton's?
Oh, who said I didn't say I didn't believe in Bo Nix.
I thought you said that you wasn't a big fan of Bo Nix.
No, I never said that.
Last year you did. I don't know about.
I didn't say that. You said that.
No, you did.
I said that.
Yeah, because you
Actually,
were
both of y'all kind of.
No, you were mad when Chris added him to our dynasty team. I remember that discussion.
That's because it was a 1 QB league, and we had Josh Allen.
I'm not explaining your justification.
Well, I mean, I think you need to get that understanding. Like we had Josh Allen, and it was a 1 QB league.
Yeah, but Josh Allen could always get injured because he's a running quarterback.
Pick up some random dude off the waivers. we won a league, didn't we?
We did, but I'm saying, like Bo Nix wasn't just as bad.
We won the league, though, right? But anyway, I think this is a better offensive system and environment.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found myself really drafting a lot of Sutton.
Me either.
Because I don't want to keep using the same phrase, but I just don't see like the massive upside. And I'm like completely aware that probably 80 to 90% of people who are going in this range are not going to like just break out and become a wide receiver 12. And I still think he can. So I'm definitely not fading Cortland Sutton. It's just that I think other guys have maybe a little bit higher.
This sounds bad, but this is like my Calvin Ridley round.
Yeah.
So like I found myself either clicking the button on Calvin Ridley
in the 5th.
In the 5th, Calvin Ridley or like James Conner, like during this round.
There's a time Ridley was going in the 7th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 7, 8. Yeah.
I don't know about 8. I know he was going in 7.
He was going in 8.
Then he started going in the 6.
Yeah,
he was starting to go around like Waddle was going even Judy.
Mm-hmm.
And then something happened. He just shot up.
I mean, right now he's 508.
Yeah. I guess give me the like upside argument for Cortland Sutton. We saw what he did last year, which is great. So give me the upside.
Yeah, no, I get it. I completely get it because like he scored a lot of touchdowns and obviously that's unpredictable, especially in this type of offense.
I feel like he can score almost close to the same amount of touchdowns just because of the type of receiver he is. But I guess for me, it's just like the receptions and they added weapons. They added R.J. Harvey. Now you have more explosive backs. But I get that like as Bo Nix going into second year, maybe the offense moves a little bit better. But then they also have like, at least theoretically an elite defense. This is just, I don't know. It's a tough one for me. I don't know what you think about Cortland Sutton.
I'm out at that price. Yeah. I'm not a Sutton guy though. I kind of was last year because I just felt like he was going way too late last year.
Yeah.
I think he was going like in the 8th, 9th round, and I was just drafting him everywhere because like this doesn't make any sense. But I don't think he's a 5th round value type player. I think they have other players there that might be just as good. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just sleeping on Sutton, but I just don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that good. So.
What about Travis Kelce? Have we gone too far on the Travis Kelce hate? I mean, like, I know everybody expects him to just fall off, but I mean, he's going to back end of the 6th? Front end of the 6th round looks like on this current board.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place for him to go.
I actually think he goes a little later than that. I've been seeing him go a little later than that. But
no, he goes in the 6th. He's a 6th round. That's what I'm saying. I think he's valued properly because I don't think I would put him above Laporta, Hawkinson. Those are only 2 guys ahead of him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Laporta, Hawkinson, outside of the big 3.
Yeah, exactly. So I think. I mean, I don't know, Abby. You can speak on it.
Yeah, this is like going back to kind of the whole Rashee Rice and what's going to happen with him, and again, just speaking FFPC tournament style, not knowing what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. I do not like Travis Kelce when Rashee Rice is on the field, and now you have Xavier Worthy going into his second year too as well.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a little bit of glimpse of it, again, small sample size when Rashee Rice was playing last year. And I was kind of I was drafting Kelce last year. And if that Rashee Rice injury didn't happen, I mean, Kelsey would have just been absolutely, I think, miserable. Those couple of games where Rashee Rice was there, he was just really not getting targeted. There is something to speak to him not being in shape last year. You know, the whole Taylor Swift thing, or not having his focus on
I
football.
have no
and his
idea
health.
what you're talking about. What happened with him not being in shape? He
He
said he
just
wasn't in
didn't. Yeah,
shape
he just
last
didn't
year.
look in. He just didn't look
So
in
what,
shape.
he said he's
yeah.
in shape now?
Well, I mean, based on weight, he actually dropped quite a bit of weight. They say he looks a little bit more exposed. I mean, these are all
That's
kind
what
of
they say,
subjective.
right?
That's
Every
why I
year.
said I don't know about, but I think like watching him from when you draft someone, you watch them closely. Watching him, he looked old. I don't even want to say he looked old. Yeah, he looked old, but it just looked like he was out of shape, and he
Guess
was
what?
coming out of the
Guess what?
game very quick. Like he looked tired.
Guess what? He's older.
He's older, but watching he does look more slim now, and they are saying he's more slim now.
I don't know, man. I ain't seen him play yet.
I haven't been buying him. I think I started drafting in February, March. Early on, I was buying because I was like, why is he going so late? Why is he going so late? And then taking all the information, come up with my own mental ADP, and I've just been out on him for like months. So
I think he's valued properly. I mean,
I don't have any.
if he was the old Kelsey, he would have to go higher, right?
Yeah.
Old Kelsey was dominant. He was a first round pick.
I prefer going for the other tight ends.
Now we're on the
younger guys.
We're on the downside of his career. So right now you're just catching the falling knife. You're just hoping the knife is falling very slowly, very slowly.
I'm sidestepping
because if he's being drafted there now, like where we draft him next year, right?
Right.
And maybe in 2 years we're not drafting him at all. So
I mean, he was still a top 4 tight end. Just look under.
He's a top.
FFPs.
He's top 4.
Top 4
last year.
Yeah.
Who was he above now that's being valued over him? Laporta?
Yeah. So Brock Bowers, Trey McBride.
Hockenson was out for half the year.
That's true, but
a lot
George
of guys
Kittle,
were out. A lot of guys were out. That's why I like going points per game. A lot of guys were out. Porter was hurt for a period of time. Njoku was hurt for a period of time. Mark Andrews was hurt. A lot of guys were hurt, or Mark Andrews was coming into the season hurt. A lot of guys were hurt, injured, banged up. And then you also have the influx of some of the rookies. You have some of the second-year players kind of coming up now. Ingram change of scenery.
I'll say this: out of all the other tight ends, maybe I can't even think of anybody, but all those other tight ends in that area, or even way above him, are all young. So they all could possibly get better, ascend. While Kelsey, I don't think anybody looks at him as maybe getting. I mean, maybe with the argument you just made, Abby, but most people don't look at Kelsey as far as making a big jump forward.
Yeah. One thing that he could where he could at least hold value at the very least is in the TD department.
And that's what I was about to bring up. He only scored 3 touchdowns last season.
That's massive and last season too, a lot of defenses were double teaming him still. He was still the focus of the defense as far as taking him out of the game. And so you saw a lot of people were saying, oh, Noah Gray needs to take more. Noah Gray was just running wide open because he had 2 defenders were focused in on Travis Kelce. So with Xavier Worthy back, with Rashee Rice back, this is the same argument I made last year when I was like, oh no, Kelce can still, hold value even with these guys because they're going to open things up. Problem with Rashee Rice is that he operates in that area of the field where Travis Kelce operates. And if Rice is healthy and he's getting open like he was before, that just seems to be and makes sense that it is the first read for Patrick Mahomes, that quick hitter, because Rice can just take these slants to the house. He can just do so much with the crossing route, with the slant route. And Kelce seems to be that, he works well with Mahomes. Mahomes is sort of kind of navigating the pocket, and then they can work to get open. But it just seems like Rashee Rice is that planned first read in the majority of their plays.
So TJ Hawk goes right before Travis Kelce. How do you guys feel about pushing the button on TJ Hawk? I mean, he's right there. Well, his ADP is in the 5th round, back into the 5th.
So,
how do you guys feel about drafting TJ Hawk?
So this one scares me because I don't have much, if any, TJ Hawkinson. And it's not because I don't think that he's good or that I just, I think I've been so focused on the wide receivers and the running backs in that range. And I've been just grabbing a bunch of Loveland, a bunch of Njoku, a bunch of Tyler Warren, that I just haven't felt the need to grab Hawkinson. Hawkinson's ADP has kind of been falling a little bit, and some of those other tight ends ADPs are rising now. So I may need to force some Hawkinson, and then obviously even though it's only 3 games, the Jordan Addison suspension, there's still 3 games of potentially high end volume, and who knows if Justin Jefferson suffers a setback. I don't like to think about injury if somebody getting injured, but if you have a pre-existing hamstring injury, then it becomes it's in my forethought. So Hawkinson's probably one of the first guys you mentioned where I haven't been in, but it maybe scares me the most.
Because I want to talk about.
Sorry, let me ask Dale real quick. What's your thoughts on Hawkinson?
I like Hawkinson, but I'm out at that ADP.
Okay.
I mean, like, who are you drafting? I mean, like, if you're out on Hawk, then who are you drafting around that area, around the back end of
I'm
the
out on him
fifth?
because of where he's being drafted. I'm not drafting any tight end around that area.
All right,
If he's
but
going
like,
later, I would consider him.
so like in that fifth round, if you pull a draft position that's back end of the fifth, like, who do you see that's more attractive in that area?
Depends what the board look like.
Oh,
Every
on,
board
man.
is
Like, give me
different. We're
something,
talking
man.
about the fifth round. Every board is different. I don't. For me, for tight ends, if I'm not taking one of those top 3 guys, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna push it quite a bit to see, because I think that tier is pretty big.
Give me one.
Hawkinson probably put on the front end of the tier, but I think it's still big.
Okay, give me one. So you like not grab. So you didn't get those top 3 guys. One of the top 3 guys. You're like, okay, I'm really not feeling this mid tier portion. Then who's that guy that you're going for late?
Depends who falls.
Okay, who is typically has fallen in that?
So typically I've seen fall. The ones I've seen fall lately are Andrews, and Njoku, Ingram, Warren.
So 7th round is
Kraft, Loveland.
So 7th round, 7th, 8th round is where you want to grab your.
Yeah, when all I've just recently started considering Loveland there because I think he's going to take that job away from Commit.
Yeah.
But he's the one I see as like, if I'm like waiting last ditch effort, I'll grab him because I don't feel comfortable with the rest of the tight ends after him being in the starting lineup right now. I might double up because I think they have potential, but right now I don't feel comfortable week 1 starting either.
That's my break glass, and I want as much. I mean, I have a ton of Loveland, but I want as much as I can get. But that's like definitely my break glass. It's like I'll wait, I'll try to push it, and then I don't wait if everybody's off the board and it's just Loveland and Kraft left.
I don't even do it that way. I do it where if I see. Well, I guess I kind of do it that way, but it depends what part of the board I'm at. If I'm in the beginning side of the board, like the first 3 picks, and I see it's like 3 tight ends left.
Oh yeah, then you got to grab.
I got to just grab one.
You got to grab one.
I grab the highest ranked one I probably see there because I don't feel like it's going to come back to me. So if I see it's like 5 tight ends left and I see maybe 4 tight ends been picked on that side of the board, I'll probably wait out and see whoever falls to me. So it's hard for me to say I'm targeting this guy because I'm like good with so many of them.
What do you do? What are you doing in home leagues? I feel like the tight end, like when to draft a tight end in the home league, is always the toughest thing because it just always seems so random.
Yeah.
What do you typically do? Are you gonna say
top 3? Same thing.
You just go top 3. You try to get one of those top 3 in your home.
Same exact approach.
Okay.
Nothing different.
Okay. I think I like doing that too. Just be done with it. Like don't even like have to worry about or play the board. And those guys are gonna like produce. And then
I know some people have been putting Laporta in that group too. Those top 3, and then Laporta. I don't know if I'm there yet because I think there's just so many other options on the Lions. And while those top 3 guys, I feel like they're the top option for their team, right? Like I think Bowers, McBride, even Kittle, I think is a top option in the receiving game for their team. While Laporta, Amon-Ra, I still think has that crown. I don't know what's going on with J-Mo. I think he's getting better. And J-Mo has that skill set where if he really figures it all out, he can be one of the best in the league. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Like he's still being used so much in the passing game. So
I'm with you. I have Laporta in that tier 3. He's my 8 tight end. And then in
who's tier 2?
So I have McBride, Bowers, Kittle. And then I have
who's tier 1?
Tier 1 is McBride. Sorry, tier 1 is McBride.
Oh, okay, I'm like, what's going on here? Okay.
And actually, I'm switching this back up. I'm switching back to. I'm gonna go McBride, Kittle, Bowers, and then 4 I have Njoku. 5 I have Warren. 6 Loveland.
Yeah, those guys over Laporta.
Yeah.
All those guys over.
And then my 3rd tier is where I have Laporta, Evan Ingram, and then Travis Kelce.
I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah.
The Lions still score so many points, man. Like you said, like he might get a lesser percentage of those guys in the pie, but their pie is large. They have a big pie. They used to put 30 on every team's head every week.
This is the thing. Their pie was like significantly like outlierish it was an outlier year last year in terms of the amount of points that they scored last year. So even in that environment, with JMO even coming up in that environment, I don't think there's a situation we're going to find where Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Jameson, and Laporta are all hitting off.
So you have Hawkinson over Laporta though? Like
yeah.
you
That's
view that?
an easy one for me. Yeah,
That's an easy one.
that's an easy one. Those you have 6 Detroit players being drafted in the first 6 rounds. They're not all hitting value. They scored the most
We're not
points
talking about
historically.
We're talking about Laporta versus Hawkinson. We're just talking about them two.
Well, I guess because maybe I'm a believer in Jameson Williams continuing to ascend and all the hype that's been coming out. I'm more of a believer in that. And if I'm a believer in that and they scored more points than anybody has scored in a very long time and they're probably going to regress from that standpoint, there's no way TJ Hawkins, there's no way Sam Laporta can like do what he did last year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How's he going to do more than asking him to do more means that somebody has to come down.
Yeah.
Or that they have to repeat and do something that hasn't been done in years.
I got you. I think Amon-Ra may come down a bit. I think JMO may not be that guy. I mean, I know Amon-Ra has looked good in camp playing against the Dolphins, but like
Amon-Ra's Amon-Ra. I don't know why people like feel
like he has some times where like he just
it's like he's been so good. Let's find the next guy. Amon-Ra's still Amon-Ra. He's not. There's nothing about Amon-Ra that's like where it's just like he's falling off or he's old or he's injured or anything like that. He's Amon-Ra. He's like a dependable. Golf's dependable receiver.
Laporta was what tight end 1 2 years ago.
But it was like a suspect tight end.
He's still tight end 1, and again, that offense just scored so many points.
No JMO. That was also Gibbs, like I think rookie year 2 as well, where he wasn't playing.
It wasn't Gibbs rookie year. That offense just scores so much, right? And you're in the Vikings. I don't know what to think of McCarthy yet.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what he is.
That's true.
I know Addison's not going to start this season, but he will be back.
That's true.
So Hawkinson, the highest to me is the 3rd option. So and then I don't know. I'm starting to think they're gonna start using Aaron Jones a lot in the pass game this year.
Yeah.
Just starting to think that. So then it's like he's competing with Hawkinson. Jones competed with Hawkinson. And again, I like Hawkinson. I do, especially as a tight end. But Laporta, again, just knowing that team can just score so many points on any given week, and they didn't add any pieces. Like it's the same pieces, right?
Yeah.
So now the only question there, honestly, is just the loss of Ben Johnson, right? Like, what is that going to do to the Lines? That's to be determined.
In the line.
In the what?
The line, they've had some like line injuries, retirement injuries. Yeah.
I'm never really worried about. I think teams adjust to that. Like even Mahomes' worst season with the offensive line, they won the Super Bowl. Like they figure it out.
Yeah, they won the Super Bowl, but his offense was not good.
Yeah.
I mean, but still, they still like run their offense. Like they figure it out. Like it might change a little bit, but they figure it out.
Their defense figured it out.
I'm saying the offense, they still were able to score points.
If I'm using a fantasy argument, what I'm saying is like that's when Mahomes was like the last 2 years where they've like struggled to tackle, they've struggled at protecting. These have been Mahomes' worst years in the league from a fantasy production standpoint. When he was having his elite years, he had an elite O-line.
I don't think he's ever had an elite O-line, actually.
Well, he had a better O-line. When he lost his tackles, his line started suffering.
Again, but still, I just think the offense can still make it happen. Like the running, the offensive line always concerns me for the running game. Like I feel like that's where the biggest issue.
It concerns me specifically.
And then if you also have like deep targets, like players that go for like bombs and deep posts, that's when it's concerned because they don't have as much time to throw. Yeah. But if you're talking about like a tight end or like a intermediate, like Amon-Ra type player, I don't think the offensive line does a big thing there.
Even for guys like Jared Goff, who typically has struggled against the blitz, and I mean, like a center is really important in identifying like the front coverage.
You do know they're going to have a center though.
I know, but I mean, you lose a Pro Bowl center like that.
But they're going to have a player there. Like we don't know how good that player is. They might be, suitable. Like they might be okay. Like they might not be great, but it's not like they're just going to not have a player there. They're still going to have an NFL caliber center, and the guy is going to get better as the reps increase. Like there's very few teams where I see them lose offensive line, their offense just crumbles.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm not knocking any player in this offense because of the offensive line. I'm just saying there are some factors or some ways where, like, again, they scored a historic amount of points last year. Most people are gonna like bet on the regression with that. So already we're starting with the smaller pie, and then just to ask all these players to like perform.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know what this new offensive coordinator is going to like. We could have said the same thing about the Bucks last year once they lost Dave Canales, or however you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Like once he went to the Panthers, we could have been like, man, the Buccaneers, they lost this guy. It's going to be a regression, yada yada yada.
Or no,
Liam Cohen came in and just went even harder.
I would say the same thing if Ben Johnson didn't leave. I'm just saying, forget about the coach. I'm saying if a team scores a historic amount of points, that's an outlier. Then like
you're right. I mean,
could they
they're
score?
due for a
but
regression. They're due for a regression, but at the same time, I mean, we've seen them do it, right? If I'm gonna make a bet for any team to do it, that would be the team I bet on.
All right. I want to move to another segment called This or That because I want to compare two players that are on the same team that I think we have to make decisions on when we're drafting. Specifically, I want to talk about Aaron Jones and Mason. Mason is, I think, finally jumped Aaron Jones on ADP.
He hasn't.
I mean, like we've seen him a couple boards.
I've seen it, but he hasn't truly flipped it yet.
All right, but they're drafting. They're being drafted around the same place.
Yeah. Where's it on Fantasy Mojo?
Let's take a look at it. But how do you guys see both Aaron Jones and Mason in that offense, and who do you ultimately think is the player to draft, considering them being drafted so close together?
If in a vacuum being drafted at the same ADP, I personally would prefer in a PPR setting Aaron Jones. If it's not PPR, like half point PPR, non PPR, could argue one versus the other. I don't see this as one guy having a job and another guy taking it over, or one guy having a job and then slowly. I just see this as Aaron Jones has his role, and Mason has his role, and this team is a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. They want to keep everybody fresh and healthy, and these guys will play their role. And in PPR setting, if Mason is not getting the 2-minute work, the hurry up work, the third down work, passing down work, things like that, he'll catch some passes. But if he's not getting that reliable work, and I have to rely on him a lot of yardage and scoring a touchdown, then it's tough. And then if he's someone though if the offense is like potent and they score a lot of touchdowns, then yeah, you can get a lot of like 60 yards, maybe a reception here or there, and then a touchdown, and then maybe like 60-70% of the time, if you're lucky, when you're starting him, you're paying off value. Then he hits. He just has to score a lot of touchdowns for me, and that's, I guess, just the way that I draft. That's a hard thing for me to do. But I still draft him just because anybody can get hurt, you know. But I do feel like Aaron Jones in a vacuum, if everybody's healthy, that I would probably prefer him, or I would just bet on him scoring the most points in a PPR setting.
All right. Aaron Jones turns 31 this December.
Yeah, I know. When you say it like that.
I didn't know he was that old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who are you choosing
he's
between
31.
the two? And you're right. ADP, at least on Fantasy Mojo, is a little disparate.
What is it?
Just kind of looking at it, I'll put it back on the board as well. Just kind of looking at it, Aaron Jones looks like he is front end of the 7th, while Jordan Mason is front end of the 8th.
Okay, so a round.
But yes, like a whole round.
Yeah.
So, but like at ADP, who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Mason. Even in a vacuum, like straight up, I would probably take Mason. But that makes me feel better about that choice.
Yeah, because he is being drafted later.
I think Mason's going to take that job. I've said this all offseason. I think the Vikings want to go to more of a run-heavy team. I think they've made some specific moves showing that they traded high draft capital for Mason out the blue. They really didn't need him, right? They could have drafted somebody, but they traded for him, early in the offseason. And I think he's going to take that job. And if they're wanting to be a running team, he's going to be in position to score way more touchdowns than Aaron Jones, because in the goal line, they're going to give him the ball. And as far as Aaron Jones, as far as him being effective in the passing game, I don't see Aaron Jones being the top 2 option. Like I believe that's going to be Jefferson or Addison. And then the question is, will he be the 3rd option? And again, like we were just saying with Hockenson, it's one or the other. I don't know if I want to bet on the 3rd option receiving, player for the Vikings. So if he's not really getting that a lot of that run game work for a team that wants to run, And again, they're at the goal line, they're deciding to give it to Mason. And I'm just hoping that they decide to pass. And when they do pass, hoping they decide to go with their third option at best.
Yeah.
And then hoping that guy happens to score a touchdown. I don't want to make that bet. So I'd rather just go with the dependable, safe, especially for a running back that late. Because that's probably a target for like my wide receiver, zero running back teams.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody like that late, I'd want somebody a little bit more dependable.
Especially with J.J. McCarthy being their quarterback and him used to handing the ball off in the biggest moments. But
I think
we can
that's
go on
something
to
just so few people are talking about. Like, what is J.J. McCarthy going to look like? And I know I've seen him in preseason against the Texans. He looked okay, but there was no game plan in there, right? It wasn't no true bullets flying. I don't know what to expect there. And we didn't even see him run, and we know he's a runner, right?
He saw him run a little bit. He had one scramble.
But we ain't seen him run though. Like, RPO, fake the handoff, run the ball type. We haven't seen that, so I don't know what they're gonna do with them.
I have this one maxim that quarterbacks typically don't get better in the NFL. Like they don't get better when they go up a level. And I just can't get out of my mind that when he was in college, all right, he had a coach who's considered a quarterback guru. Like we all see Harbaugh has been good with quarterbacks. And in the biggest moments, they handed the ball off and took the ball out of his hand.
That's true.
And he played in the biggest moment in the college football playoffs, throwing a handful of passes.
Did they win?
That's true, actually.
Yeah, they won. But they won.
That's a good.
They won.
Well, number one,
Thank you.
You know what? You actually just sold me more on Mason, because if they decide to do that with the Vikings.
Number one, I completely disagree with your logic. Literally, almost all of the GOATs were better when they got into the league.
No,
a lot of them
Brady.
improved.
That's it.
Not just Brady. Patrick Mahomes wasn't.
Patrick Mahomes was
Patrick Mahomes
great.
didn't get better in the league.
No, he did not. He was.
Then why wasn't he taking the
They were
number
an
one
air
overall?
raid offense.
Why
No,
was he taking the number one overall? Well, see, so
that has something to.
I
does have
think
something to do with it.
I don't know if we
He
should
was
say
like a mid-round
good or
pick.
bad.
He
I
was
think
a
we should say more talented. And Mahomes was always talented.
Right.
A lot of them are talented.
He was talented. But I think
Adam
he's
Reed was
saying we don't
talented.
know. We didn't see McCarthy being talented in college, though. I'll say that. We saw him as a runner.
You saw glimpses of it. Just that was just the offense. That was
I
it.
never
didn't
saw
see no
a
glimpse.
My thing is, like, you can't knock him if they won the college football championship doing what they did. Harbaugh's goal was not to like have him throw 20 times. If you don't need to throw, if any coach feels like you don't need to like throw at all, if you only need to throw one pass a game and you will win every single game, every single head coach is going to throw the ball once a game. It is more risky to pass than it is to run.
All right. You
I'm
falling
sorry.
down that yeah.
If I had Peyton Manning or Brady on my team,
no.
they're throwing the ball.
You falling down that Mac Jones logic
Drew
again.
Brees, they're throwing the ball. Like all the great quarterbacks.
They won the championship. What do you want them to do?
Yeah. Show
You mad
off
'cause
the
he's
quarterback that you think.
Why?
Because if he's supposed to be that guy,
his job is
first
that's not
round
his
quarterback.
job. That's not your job as a head coach. My job is not to show off this player, show off that. My job is I got all these boosters. I got people paying my salary. I got to worry about my job. My job is to bring home trophies.
I've never seen a coach have that guy at quarterback and say, you know what? I'm not going to use him because I can just run the ball down their throat.
Because most guys can't do that and win championships like Harbaugh did, and they did that.
All right. You falling down that Mac Jones logic again. That's all I'm saying. You did the same thing with Mac Jones. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about Evans, Ibuka, and Godwin. How do we see that receiver room, and who would you rather have long-term in an ADP?
Man, this is so hard. I hate this question. This is so hard. You know why I hate this question? Because it just pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how sometimes like somebody will just have steam and then like the path will just be like just laid for them?
Yeah.
Like, even like they were already killing it. Like Ibuka was already killing it in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
He was already killing it. And then Godwin, I don't even want to say it's bad news, but just not good news. Like you're not hearing anything about him come back. Clearly he's probably gonna start on the pup. Then you had McMillan getting hurt,
Mm-hmm.
So you just have these things happening to where like boom, 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 boom. And I mean, if you go back to our earlier episodes, we had literally the same discussion. It's crazy.
That's why I brought it up.
So we've been, so I think we've been benefiting from a lot of late round Ibuka. Like I'm thankful like I have all the late round Ibuka I have now. And I don't know where to like put his value is. I don't know where it's too high. But we had the same exact discussion. It's crazy because we talked about, well, what if Godwin doesn't come back, or what if he's late?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Evans is older. What if he gets hurt? Like, because we were talking about how crowded this like receiving room looked. And then even with McMillan. But we talked about how like, man, you just got to draft Ibuka.
Yeah.
You just got to suck it up and just draft him.
Mm-hmm.
Because of draft capital and things like that. And then look what happened. Boom. So side note or like tangent, like I think the more important example, and I'll go back to and I'll answer the question, but the more important example is draft guys who you feel are talented,
Mm-hmm.
draft guys who have a high draft capital. Because there's a player out there right now
Mm-hmm.
that while we're talking about Egbuka, you could be drafting right now,
Mm-hmm.
and in a couple of weeks, or when it really matters,
Mm-hmm.
that guy is not even at Egbuka's level, but exceeding it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like Luther Burden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, not as much draft capital, but you can kind of see the same situation. But Luther Burden was going later than Egbuka, and he's still pretty late right now.
Yeah.
So I think like it's just important, like, and the same thing was with Loveland, even TJ Warren at times, Cam Scatterboo right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a believer in some of these guys, that's fine. You don't have to be a believer, but just like all these guys, even Bill, or y'all want to call him the cross
I'm not calling
recording,
him.
yeah,
Bill.
whatever you want
I'm
to
not
call
calling
him.
Bill.
Like all these guys, we're like, man, this guy's in a crowded situation. But if you feel like he's talented or more talented, or could like find an opportunity, just draft him. Like the season's so long, let it pan out.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, right now, again, because I can't predict health, I would say Mike Evans because I just feel like his TD prowess, and I've definitely have moved Mike Evans up. Like to me, like that's actually been the biggest thing with McMillan injury and the Godwin. Let me just call it lack of news. Is like I've been undervaluing Mike Evans, just anticipating that it was going to be crowded. And then at this stage, yeah, I would just take Egbuka. And as far as like when to take him, just throw him in. To me, you just throw him in like that 5th to 6th round discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it's just like the list of guys who have like upside. The only caveat is like you don't know when Godwin's going to come back. I have no clue. I have no clue. I know he's injured right now, but I have no clue. I don't know if he's going to be out 3 weeks and then slowly work his way back. And then like right now, I think he's going in like double-digit rounds, or maybe around 10 or so. I don't know if like by week 7 or week 8 he's going to be ramped up and then be ready to go. And then they paid him. Maybe they feel more comfortable with him in the slot. They give him the slot role because in the preseason games, and we noticed this. Egbuka wasn't running any snaps in the preseason game. And I'm not saying he can't obviously run in the slots. So he wasn't running any slots in the preseason game. And I'm not saying he can't run in the slots, but you would think if they're gearing up and getting ready for the season and they know Godwin's not going to be ready, and we've all been talking about him in the slot role, you would think he would at least get some slots in the or some snaps in the slot, and maybe that was just kind of the game plan, and maybe he will be in the slot. But we saw Sterling Shepard in the slot, so that is also something to consider. But I definitely think like he's worth, it's one of those things where his ADP jumped, and yeah, you didn't get him where you got him, but I got plenty of them, and I'm still on the, I probably won't, but I don't see an issue with taking them in that 5 to 7, 5, 6 range.
Now, Dario, I know that you don't draft injured players, so I'm just gonna take Godwin even out of this equation.
No, leave it in there.
And just go Evans and
Let him
Ibuka.
say it. Let him say
He's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Just Evans versus Ibuka.
Yeah, Godwin's
how
been
do you
off
see
my
it?
boards all summer. Like,
Yeah.
isn't it like honestly? He's like when he's on the queue, it's like it's just a blind. Like there's no name right there. 'cause
Do
I don't
not
even
draft.
see him.
Or just a strike
Yeah,
through.
All right,
yeah.
if you curse on it, don't be careful.
He's like John Cena. I am in on Evans. I've been in on Evans all summer though. Like nothing's changed for me with Evans. He's always been a good option to me. I think he's undervalued. I've been thinking that. I think people are scared of him being a little bit older, maybe slowing down. I guess that's the only reason I can have
That's the only
because
reason.
he's still the wide receiver one for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are still a team we expect to pass a lot. We still think Baker's a good enough quarterback. I mean, he's taken, 8th quarterback in drafts. So I have no problem. And then again, Godwin not being around, he had that contingency value, even though it's not true contingency because he's the number one. But just the fact that it's less of a pie he'd have to split with. Ibuka, I'm out on Ibuka where he's at now. I'm not touching him at all. I do also have a fair amount of Ibuka from the past. Like I look back on some of my teams, Ibuka's on my bench right now because he's either I don't know, however way I made my team, he's not able to fit in my starter lineup right now, right?
Yeah.
So taking him where he's taking now, I mean 5th, 6th, like nah. And I understand why people are chasing after him. And I'm gonna say it's chasing because we ain't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
We've seen practice highlights, and that's been cool. But as far as what we've truly seen as far as the game, he has not started. He's not playing the slot. I don't even think he's playing the Z. I think he's been playing the X, and I think
Mhm.
he's been playing the X behind Evans. So we haven't even seen him play on the other side with Evans yet, nor in the slot. And yeah, before McMillan injury happened, we were even saying to ourselves, like, they never said he was going to play in the slot. Like
Mhm.
they never said anything. They just drafted him and showed us highlights.
Yeah.
And they did what they did, and
Yeah.
McMillan was getting that role, and now McMillan's hurt. Everybody's now like even rushing even more. Like, okay,
Yeah.
now we really got to get Ibuka, but they still haven't said anything.
Yeah.
Like honestly, and again, this is probably not likely, but honestly, there's a chance he could still be the backup to Evans, right?
Yeah.
Like they could put somebody else.
Nah.
They could put somebody else as that other receiver.
I refuse to let you go down
See?
that low
I mean,
percentage route.
I'm just saying, if before we saw McMillan starting like 2 weeks ago, we wouldn't have went down that route. Then we would have been like
We
McMillan.
would have, but McMillan's supposed to be out like almost half the season.
What I'm saying is, when McMillan was healthy, nobody was saying Ibuka was backing up or the wide receiver 3 for that team, and McMillan was wide receiver 2.
But his ADP was a lot lower than 2.
Who's?
Ibuka.
Ibuka's ADP's been going up before the injury.
It's been
this
going up
weekend.
slowly, but it hasn't been in the
But it's been going up.
It was in the 8-9.
But again, it's been going up. So it was going up when nothing was happening. And again, we weren't hearing anything. We were just seeing highlights. And everybody talking about how great he looked in practice. The slot didn't get hurt. It might still be Shepard. We don't know.
I actually think if you're like looking at it, I think Shepard has to run the slot.
I mean, probably so now.
I wouldn't say have to, but like that would be like the most logical
I'm
thing.
gonna obviously say with the injury of McMillan, you would think rational coaching, they're gonna bring the next talented receiver that they have and put him at that spot, but we just don't know. Like we don't know. And
I mean that I was okay. I won't speak for you. I know that Ibuka is going to be starting week 1.
Okay. I mean, if you say so.
The question
again
is,
before this weekend, people would have been saying that.
Okay, so if he starts, say he's a starter. Say they come out tomorrow and say he is a starter. They don't say where. They don't talk about slots because most people don't do. Most coaches don't do that anyway. But they say he's starting. He's going to be starting for us week 1. Where are you drafting him? Forget about you just starting draft.
Like
you have no prior. You have no prior.
Probably
draft.
like the Olave, like 7th round.
What about 6?
No.
Okay.
I just told you I'm out of him where he's taking right now. 5th, 6th. I'm out. I have no interest, and I might miss out on it. But if I take him in the 5th and 6th, I'm competing against teams that took him in the 8th, 9th, 10th round. Like even if I won my little 12-team league, like when it comes to like the real money, and if I got Ibuka and those other teams that Ibuka, they got way better teams than me.
You know the crazy
and again, I could be trying to thread the needle, but like why do that when I already got my bags? My bags look nice. Right, I can go move because look what we always say: when somebody goes up, that means somebody went down. I'm not just looking for the players that went down, so I'm good on it.
By the way, Mike Evans turns 32 tomorrow. Actually.
Mike Evans old.
Yeah, so
you sure you want
Devontae Adams old too, and we taking him.
That's
true.
3rd round, 4th round, yeah.
That's true. Let's talk about the 49ers for a second. Jennings versus Pearsall. How do you guys see those two receivers? I mean, the cream has to rise to the top, right?
Everybody got blinders on with Jennings, man. No,
Pearsall. I don't even want this Pearsall. That's a quick one for me.
All right.
I just think we're not taking it seriously enough that he's not practicing with the team.
Yeah.
I'm not even
it's injury / holdout. Like it's one or the other, and we're not even really sure what's happening. But we're still like, whatever, dude. We're still drafting you. Like you're gonna be there week 1, ready to rock and roll. I mean, there's a chance he's not.
I will say though, like there's one team where, and this is like I think before the Pearsall. I just started like I've been like drafting a lot of Pearsall of late, and I think it was right at the 6-7 turn, 7th round. I took Pearsall, and then comes all the way back to me in the 8th round. I'm out like the 1 or 2 spot, and Jennings is there, and so 8th round, like 9th, like I'm taking Jennings there just because again it's a long season.
I can see that.
Pearsall has a laundry list of prior injuries. Yeah. So when Pearsall goes down, guess what? I got Jennings in there. I think that's literally, how I feel like we don't maybe talk about it enough, but I think we do talk about it a lot, but we just don't like really harp on it. I'm not drafting 10 starters and 10 bench players. I'm drafting 20 soldiers who are going to enter my starting lineup.
I got you.
Whenever
I guess I see Jennings. I think the way people are viewing McLaurin right now, they should be doing the same thing with Jennings. I don't think they've been doing it with Jennings. And they might. I haven't been drafting him recently, so they might be doing it now. But I saw McLaurin go in like the 6th round in a board recently.
I drafted him in the
Like
sixth round.
what? Because I know at one point he was a 4th rounder.
Yeah.
So what happened? The holdout. It's not. We're not even talking about injury. We're just talking about a holdout. Jennings, the same thing. He's holding out too.
Is he holding out or is he injured?
It's both. He wants a new contract.
Yeah.
I don't know if he put a trade request in, but I know he definitely wanted a new contract. Then all of a sudden his calf started hurting.
No, all of a sudden,
No, for real. It's one of those things where people are like, once he gets his new contract,
I don't know.
He's gonna become healthy. So
it might be. Yeah,
all right, last one on the this or that. I know that we talked a lot, especially during the last draft, about Colston Loveland, but Warren, Colston Loveland, been drafted around the same place. Colston Loveland looked really good in this last game.
Yeah.
But if you had to draft one, which one are you picking?
Right now, man, I can't answer that question.
we had this conversation like 3 weeks ago.
But we got new information now. We got a chance to see him.
I'm drafting Loveland because his ADP's later.
All right, but you don't believe in
Colston in FFPC now. TJ Warren is going in the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like he's not leaving the 6th round. Colston Loveland goes in the 9th round.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's I can get a 6th round.
Warren is more like a 7th rounder.
No, he's in pretty much every single draft I've done. He's been going in the 6th round. His ADP is skyrocketed very quickly.
But on the board, he is in the 7th round.
Yeah, that's not
early 7th round.
Yeah, So, but Colston Loveland, give me Colston Loveland. But I will say this: T.J. Warren. Actually, I don't even know now. I really don't even know. I feel like towards the back end of the season, when it really matters,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I'm just picturing maybe Colston Loveland really being able to dominate in a tight end premium when it comes to receptions. But I can see it for both. I like both. I like both. I just have always liked Loveland. I like Loveland's talent more, but specifically, I have just loved where Loveland goes in draft, how late he goes. I mean, he was going really, really late up until recently. So it's just been one of those things where you just if he hits, you're able to build these monster teams without having to take a tight end early.
Is Daniel Jones winning that quarterback, or at least week 1 starting job? Does that change anything for you guys?
He won it. He's a starting quarterback.
That's what he's asking. Does it change?
I'm saying,
does that change anything? Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay, so are you higher or lower?
Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, T.J. Warren, even Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell, all those guys.
All right, Dio, Warren, Colston Loveland. Which one are you taking?
Nothing's changed for me. It's always been Warren. It's never even been close to me.
Oh wow! Not even close.
We literally said all this like a few weeks ago. Remember?
I know, but now we got a chance to see kind of Colston play.
What do we get a chance to see? Preseason? I don't care about preseason action.
I know, but he looks good. He looks healthy. Remember,
I'm sure
he was
both of
coming
them look good and healthy.
Banged up. So I mean, we finally get a chance to see him out.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Still very easily Warren. It's not even close to me actually. It's literally a tier break.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's always been a tier break to me. It's never, like I said, it's never Warren situation talent. I think it's always been better for Warren. Colston, I think the situation still sucks. Nothing changed about the situation actually. If anything, it might have got worse because I was thinking Burden might have a slower ramp up because remember Burden was hurt and we felt like he was missing so much camp time that it might have been a while before he really got up to speed. And now it's like, man, he's ready to go. So, and Kmet, I don't think Kmet's going away. I thought maybe they would maybe trade a Kmet, and they still can. I thought Kmet was just going to be relegated to the second team, but I think they're still utilizing camp with first team here and there. So I'm good on that. As far as Daniel Jones, again, like we said a few weeks ago, I've been drafting this whole summer with the assumption Daniel Jones is going to win that job.
Yeah.
Now, I will say as of late, last couple of weeks, that certainty was a lot less for me. It started looking like Anthony Richardson might get that job, and it made me nervous because I was like, oh, man, it's going to suck for all my Colts players. But now that they announced Daniel Jones is a starter and he has a long leash, I feel better now. So status quo for me.
All right. I want to go to a listener question. Obviously, guys send us questions all the time on Twitter and in the comments on YouTube. And guys, feel free to, post questions and things like that. We'll try to get to them as much as we can. But I did want to go over this one. Listener question. Hi, guys. Could you address either here or on the pod Devontae versus third-round running backs? Obviously, it's context dependent. You'll go for different builds, but assuming that you didn't go running back, how do you feel about passing on guys like Kenneth Walker III or even Chase Brown or Adams? I feel like Chase I mean, when we're talking about third round and Devontae Adams, that's kind of a different place. But because Chase is going more in the second round.
Yeah. I don't. So, and again, this home league is definitely different than FFPC and Best Ball and NFFC and DraftKings. So, it obviously the format dependent, but I think in general, looking at the markets and just based on my rankings, I would definitely take Chase Brown over Devontae Adams or wide receivers like Devontae Adams. And I like Devontae Adams. I think I would really take into account the public sentiment of Devontae Adams right now. I would try to take advantage of the ADP. Early on where we weren't really concerned about Matthew Stafford's injury. His Devontae Adams ADP was like mid third, and then once we started hearing about Stafford's injury, we seen Puka's ADP fall to like the mid second almost. I've grabbed him in the mid second quite a bit, and we've seen Devontae Adams. I routinely see him fall in drafts in the mid fourth. So to me, maybe the more important way to kind of like look at this is try to understand what the ADP is. Try to win off of ADP. You can't always do that. You can't guarantee that somebody in your league is not in love with Devontae Adams. But I always, you like to lean on the fact that it's okay if you don't have Devontae Adams on your team.
Mm-hmm.
And there are going to be other players there. We just talked about Mike Evans and a number of other players that may and could easily outproduce a Devontae Adams, or Devontae Adams might get hurt. So I would try to like get all these guys. If you like Kenneth Walker, you like Chase Brown, you like Devontae Adams, I would get Chase Brown, and then I would wait. And then who's next, versus like ADP, what the market shows. Oh, it's Kenneth Walker. I really like Kenneth Walker. Then I'll get Kenneth Walker. And then if Adams falls to me, great. But I wouldn't reach and pass up on guys who are really, really good. Side note, every year I try to incorporate or just try to find ways to, I don't want to say improve at fantasy football, but yeah, improve at fantasy football or just see it in a different way. For me, it's fun. It's fun. It's enjoying thing. It's enjoy it's fun. So I like to just find ways that I can So I've really kind of been getting into this and this is started last year, the cognitive bias and all the different biases out there, and understanding your bias, and really also understanding anybody that I'm listening to, especially if you listen to them for a long time, understanding what their bias is. And bias is not it's not always a bad thing. In fact, in a lot of ways it can be a good thing. But understanding the bias and understanding, how do I feel, how do I draft, what type of players do I gravitate to, or what type of situations I gravitate to. And that's just been very, very helpful in a lot of ways. So sounds weird, but ask yourself, why is it that I'm asking this question? Why do I want to, why do I need Devontae Adams? What is it about Devontae Adams that I want, that I need to draft this type of player?
Mm-hmm.
And then realize, okay, it's this about Devontae Adams that I like. And that actually opens up there are a lot of players like Devontae Adams that are actually in this tier. And now you don't you're not worried. You're not scrambling. You're not oh man, somebody took my player. You have an idea of what you're trying to build, and you're a little bit more fluid with it. But yeah, I kind of want, the whole bias. I think I think I retweeted something or put out a tweet. I just find that very interesting. It's a very interesting thing for me when it comes to not fantasy football, or not just fantasy football, but other aspects too as well.
All right, guys. I think that's our episode this week. We hit an hour. I know we wanted to talk about quarterback strategy, but I think we got to wait till next week. Dio, did you want to give us at least one sleeper? Do you have anything in the tuck? Are you holding it close to the vest?
Yeah. Xavier Hutchinson for the Texans. That's my guy.
Oh, really?
Xavier Hutchinson for the Texans. He's going to be the starting receiver for the Texans over Higgins. I don't know how long he's going to hold the job, but he's been probably one of the best players in camp so far from all the Texans reports. So, yeah. And also, we've talked about him before, but we might need to start taking some stabs at Chris Brooks for the Packers. He might be the running back 2 for the Packers this season.
Oh, yeah.
Marshawn Lloyd, man. Sad. Oh, actually, real quick, while we're still on the clock or on the pot, Ollie Gordon or Jalen Wright?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Ollie Gordon.
Ollie Gordon.
We talked about that already.
Yeah.
Jalen Wright, he ain't it.
Asking again.
He ain't it.
Yeah, he don't see he don't you don't look it. I keep trying to find every reason. I feel like almost like the Dolphins are like trying to force it. Like they're trying to like maybe Ollie Gordon also has like some difficulty in just pass pro
Pass
and just
protection.
like
Ollie Gordon's a
he's
seventh
a
round
rookie.
pick.
Yeah, he's a
He's
rookie.
a seventh. I mean, they probably didn't have any intention whatsoever of him being a big
Zero,
part of the running
yeah.
room. They had
Yeah.
Madison, who we heard so many great things
Madison
about.
would have been a sleeper.
Yeah,
He would've
maybe.
been-
Yeah,
he would've-
technically, yeah.
He would have been. He would have been.
He
sleeper.
would have been asleep, but we would have still been like he was the backup.
Yeah.
The thing now is A-Chain's hurt.
Yeah,
So now it's like A-Chain's going to the season hurt. Now you got to start taking, start making plans.
That's why I'm asking, because week one of and I have no clue. Week one though, say A-Chain is out, he needs another week for this calf. Who is their starting running back? Does that starting running back have value?
It might be right, but it doesn't matter because the more talented guy. I'm a talent drafter, right?
Yeah.
Obviously the early rounds, whatever the roles are, all these guys are good. But when we start talking about those sleepers, those late round picks, I'm chasing talent.
Yeah.
And if right now, from what we're seeing, Jalen Wright just doesn't have the talent, no matter where he is on the depth chart, at some point it's going to show. And the coach is going to, it's like same thing with Bucky and Rasheed White last year, right? Like Rasheed White was a starter. Bucky was the backup. Well, Bucky was like a fourth round pick. But the reason I was drafted because I knew he was talented.
Yeah. I feel like
season played out and he ended up taking the job.
This season is just a little. I mean, I get it because season long, you're probably going to want the guy over the long term. But if A-Chain is hurt now and they're just like, okay, we need this guy to be plugged in for like the first 2 to 3 weeks while A-Chain gets healthy. Do you want the guy that's going to be playing those first 2-3 weeks, or you want the guy?
I don't think it's going to be one
RB2?
specific guy that's going to play the first two. I think they're just going to let them play it out. And then the more productive guy, I think, is going to be Gordon because how bad Writers look.
Yeah, I figure.
And I also think they're a team that you should watch out for them potentially trading for, specifically Brian Robinson.
That's my thing. That's my thing.
And I think it'll be perfect fit for them.
Because I'm just projecting towards, because we're right around the corner from the start of week one, and A-Chain's coming in with that questionable tag. So I'm just picturing drafting in Vegas or right beforehand. I'm trying to think about where is Ollie Gordon going to go in drafts? Where is Jalen Wright going to go in drafts? And in my mind, I'm like, I wouldn't feel comfortable really starting any of those guys week one.
Of course
I
not.
feel like it's not going to. And then already week one's gone. And then week two, who knows, A-Chain may be back. But then week two, okay, maybe you feel a little bit comfortable. And then still that offensive line is suspect.
I think week two you'll know.
Yeah, but the offensive line is still a little bit of suspect. It's not and these guys aren't A-Chain. So, okay, maybe start on week two. So then that's a long way of saying, I agree with the Ollie Gordon, long-term plan versus
But if you're needing to start one of these guys week two, your team is already kind of screwed.
Well, you may go on zero RB.
Yeah.
If zero RB forces you to start Jalen Wright or Ollie Gordon in week two, you're probably already screwed.
Look.
Honestly, come on, what are you doing?
Okay, look, if Ollie Gordon comes out week one.
Because think about Jalen Wright is where is he on fitting mojo, like a 12th round pick? Ollie Gordon was undrafted. Now he's probably the 17th round.
If Ollie Gordon comes in, Jalen Wright starts the game, just looks terrible the first series. Ollie Gordon comes in and ends the game with 15 carries, 3 catches, scores a touchdown. He's going to be ranked as a top 24 RB if A-Chain is out. You're going people are going to be starting him.
But again, you were saying you don't know if you feel like you would feel comfortable starting him, and I'm saying you shouldn't need to have to start him. If you want to start him, that's on you. That's on you. But if you feel like you need to start him, then you in trouble, bro. Yeah. Go look at your other teams because that team ain't making it.
All right, guys, that's our episode this week. Please like, rate, subscribe. We're out.
Wake up and get your focus. No, got no plans tonight.